Yo ho ho and a bottle of black milk. Welcome back, me hearties, to another unfurled main-mast edition of Cosmic Crit. This is your GM here, Patrick, your captain driving this ship into the dark heart of uncharted waters this week. In case you all missed the announcement on Friday, we have indeed launched a brand new podcast venture on our Patreon. Our patrons over there have already joined the ranks of our pirate crew, for indeed, we are playing Pathfinder's Skull and Shackles AP, and we are converting it into 2nd edition. Right now, you can listen to our first 2 episodes. Episode 0, where we meet the heroes in a tavern, and episode number 1, where Fleam really hits the fan and the AP starts off with a bang. I am your GM over there still, I can't get away from it, and I'm joined by Seth, who you know as Dawn of Flames GM on the non-standard action stream. In addition to him, we've got good old Jabert, and of course Rebecca, who cannot be convinced that this is a bad idea, and last but not least, of course, Tyler, pirate aficionado and sailing maestro, rounds out our cast there with 4. If you want to support Cosmic Crit right now, this new podcast is available at the $5 and up tiers. If we hit the $500 goal, the show is going to commence with a new episode every 2 weeks, and at the $600 level, it will become another weekly podcast. In addition to that, right now until July 17th, if you become a Patreon backer, you can vote on the name of this podcast. That's right, we don't have a name set yet. There's a couple of contenders, but you can vote on it. I'm a little worried now putting the name of our show into our fans' hands, but it's kind of too late to turn back. We are sailing deep into the storm, but if our patrons like it, we're going to have more votes on podcast decisions, maybe like naming the pirate ship, perhaps? Anyway, head on over to our Patreon to join today. We really appreciate all of our fans who've helped out and are already funding our recording, our subscriptions, all of the podcast overhead. Trust me when I say that this second show we hope is going to allow us to do a lot more cool stuff like this in the future. So if you have any ideas about a $1,000 goal for the Patreon, let me know, as I'm kind of tapped out for ideas for the time being. Now with that major announcement out of the way, let's get back to this week's episode. Did you all come here to listen to the climax of Book 2 of Attack of the Swarm? Because it's time to get caught in episode 142, which we call The Apari Trap.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
It's time to harvest Vespian gas and construct some additional pylons on this week's episode of Star Crits. Welcome, Rainers Raiders, to the podcast. This is your GM Patrick, aka your Goliath Marine Tank Operator, rolling into this week's episode, and joining me in base building and beating back the Zerg Swarm are my 5 friends and your player 2s. To my right, if this ghost gets captured, she will surely be the queen of the swarm. It's Rebecca, rolling with Zinnia Kerrigan.
Hello.
And across from her, the only thing this Marine feels when he shoots some swarm is the recoil. It's Drew, delivering Echo 7.
Stop clicking on me so much.
To my right, this Hydralisk is ready to burrow under your feet for a surprise attack. It's Tyler, dredging up to Vasho. Across from him, his sword is blessed with the power of Tassitar. It's Jabert, plain as dressed.
Yeah, hey.
And across the digital table, why, this little Zergling is coming at you with the quickness. It's Miles mixing it up with Sprouts.
Good evening.
A StarCraft intro.
I couldn't
remember
remember.
StarCraft.
I couldn't remember. I live for ire. In the moment, I was just like, I live for ire. Hi, everybody.
I haven't played the game, but I know what Zergs are, and also, I believe that Kerrigan is the character that Dwight dresses up as for Halloween one year.
Yeah. Well, he dresses up. She's originally human, like a ghost operative, straight up. That's what she she is in the game, and she gets captured and turned into the Zerg Queen, which I thought was very funny. Not saying that's going to happen definitely to Xenia, but that's a pretty similar character arc there.
Look for scaly dreadlocks.
Yeah, gross dreadlocks.
That's how you'll know when she's turned.
No, you're not Kerrigan, because she used a sniper rifle, and you're all them pistols.
For now, anyway.
Guys, we can't get bogged down in StarCraft chit chat this week. We gotta get into it. We're nearing the end of Book 2 of Attack of the Storm. And we had a crazy barnstormer of a fight last week, and I want to find out quickly what happened last time on Cosmic Crit.
As we trudge deeper and deeper into this cavern, we unearth more questions than answers. I can't help but feel something's gnawing at my pedal. This place is more than just a secret getaway passage under a laundromat. There's something much more methodical at play. But those questions had to be put on hold, else we end up fish food. An Ultradium sea worm, big palooka too, tried to add Midnight Company to its main course, and it put the squeeze on a few of us. But luck got off its keister for once and put a few clutch shots in for us. At least tonight, fishes sleep alone. And now I'm looking at someone that shouldn't be here. I was told she bit in the dust. That source was always rotten. I knew that. I should have known that. Here, right before my eyes, is my partner, Briar.
Bum, bum, bum. And yeah, as I said, you guys got to this huge chamber where there's a large column of floating light in the center, and see immediately, Briar's form lying on the ground here sprouts. I've marked it on the map, the north side of this. And as soon as you guys move to check on her, that Sheeran hologram pops up. The one that is labeled Minesh pops up in front of you and says in Sheeran, "Welcome, pilgrims." They kind of like hold out their arms, and in a moment, the hologram kind of begins to dissolve. Like little bits of it are digitally blowing away. What do you guys want to do here?
Well, I mean, Sprouts definitely wants to check out the body of Briar, I guess. As
you run over through it, like through the hologram, as it's dissolving here, you can indeed jump off of Echo 7, get on down to her. She looks like she's covered in some rocks. It looks like there's been a spill here, and you can tell that her Elfan is completely destroyed, and she's taken a lot of damage, a lot of wilting bruises, but you see a spark of life as she seems to be breathing, and like there's some sign of activity there, but she is unconscious.
Should I roll a
You can do a medicine check if you
That's
if you
what I was
have
gonna ask.
a kit, a med kit, or if you have a serum, you can use that.
I do have...
If you want to ask for help, I am carrying an advanced med kit.
Yeah, I mean, he would definitely kind of signal for, can be like, anyone, I need help, quick.
Yeah, I'll come over and provide help if the advanced med kit just can't get it done. I got some level 1 spells.
Right, and as you guys move through the hologram, the points of light kind of fade away and then return coalescing into what looks like some kind of pattern of various floating lights. Why don't you make me a physical science check, anybody that's kind of over by this hologram here on the north side of the room.
I don't know any rock science.
Yeah, I'm not trained in that.
Not trained. Wait,
nobody
does nobody have physical science?
I mean, I have a plus. Let's see, 3 to physical.
Do you have
science.
a rank in it though? Because it's trained only, isn't it?
Yeah, you need a rank in it.
Well then, we're SOL.
Oh man, I love that you guys have finally started coding some weaknesses into your skill set.
Well, I'm also like up here, so I wouldn't. Like, I'm several feet away from where.
It's this here on the map. It's just about 10 feet away, so it is closer to you. And like I said, it takes the form, this hologram, of the Sheeran female, and then that just kind of like slowly fades away, and now it's about 9 different floating lights, and they're in kind of a somewhat geometric pattern that like pulses. But let's go ahead, and it looks like you've rolled just enough to give some healing back here, Xenia, as you break out the med kit and start bandaging up Briar. This teeny little Raxolite who seems extremely damaged. And taking a look over her, you can also tell with that roll that it does seem like part of a cave-in that might have happened here. It looks like maybe she was trying to crawl through the north-south corridor here, which as you guys came into these caves seemed already completely sealed off. So she might have tried and sneaking through and got trapped. But yeah, as you start to heal her back up, she returns to consciousness. You can pour water on her petals and things like that, and she sees you, Sprouts, and says, I knew you'd find me, Marlowe. I left out all the clues.
Been looking all over the verse for you. If you're well enough, I'd sure love to know what the heck is going on here.
Long story, but it's dangerous. There's something here. It's not safe. Look out! She points kind of behind you guys to this column of light where you look past the floating hologram of motes of light, and they disappear after a moment, and the room darkens. And this column of light in the middle of the room kind of melts away as well, so you're kind of plunged in darkness for a second. And what you see floating in the middle of the room, where this huge circle is it isn't like a light source at all. It looks like somewhat like a chrysalis, like some kind of barrier. And inside you see something moving. And as it slowly floats down to the floor, you can see this is some kind of insect, a large insect. I'm going to put on the map.
Oh, boo!
Oh, I hate the way that looks.
Oh,
that is a color of red that I do not want.
It's just a fun bug.
No, it's not.
It
It's
looks
not
like a
fun bug.
brain. Like
It has giant mosquitoes that live inside of it, clearly.
It looks like it's going to be our ride out of here. That's what it looks like.
I know what this is. I don't. Can we go fight the worm again?
No, but you can roll initiative for me, everyone. Click on
Vinny
the-
is really excited, by the way.
It's
This
more
looks
bugs.
really interesting.
Well, since I was accused of being a murderer today, I think I'm just step out of this fight. Tyler.
Oh goodness. Keep it down. All right. Let's see here.
Miles, you said you would step out of the fight when it was sworn. This thing's not sworn. It's just from I think it's from Alien Archive 2 or something like that.
Well, you know what? A lesson learned, still a lesson learned.
As it hits the ground here, it looks a little confused and doesn't start attacking you at first, but kind of rears up on some of its back haunches and lets out a screech, just and from inside its main form, it kind of launches out onto the ground what looks like a fleshy sack, and from said sack emerges another creature, and we have another friend here that's gonna pop up, and I think it's just gonna occupy a Devasho square. Is a tiny little bug that indeed looks like a mosquito. If H.R. Geiger maybe took a whack at redesigning mosquitoes.
If H.R. Geiger was God.
Let's not think about that ever again. Yeah, that is what happens, and we are going into full initiative turn order. First up is Xenia. You've got your med kit out in front of you. I will say you'll have to pick up or draw your weapon if you want to fire this round.
Okay, yeah, I'll draw my weapon, and I can take a shot. I just can't use a trick with that, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Oh, actually, before I do that, can I try to identify what this is?
Oh, I wish you would.
Please roll high.
Oh, that's not good. That was a 16. An 18 to identify. And the DC is a -5, so.
That is way not enough. Yikes.
4 on the day is not going to do it.
No.
Yeah.
Just check this thing's DC.
It's
Oh,
like
boy.
last week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she's still going to take a shot with my sonic pistol.
We don't talk about last week's rolls, Rebecca. You pretend those didn't happen.
Yeah, we can probably pretend this week too, because
they're still going.
What is
What is happening?
I don't know, Zinni is not doing well.
Drew, did you touch her computer?
You touched that left mouse button.
I got a natural 20 last week, didn't I? Come on.
That is going to be a miss. Next up in the turn order is Trest.
Oh boy, the rare second up at bat for Trest.
You rolled a 19 on your initiative die, is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna move forward and pull out that sword, and this thing looks like it needs a good beating. So I'm going to sort of move forward about 10 feet to about here.
Okay.
All right. And
You're going to make a swang.
I'm swinging my sword.
Swish, swish.
Swinging my sword. 19 versus KAC.
That is a miss. That is a miss against KAC.
This doesn't bode well.
No.
Oh, Jabert, you couldn't have moved 5 feet more.
I mean, I could have, yeah, but
Yeah, probably not. We'll fix that next round.
Oh boy. Sprouts Marlowe, you're holding in your arms a Briar who is, looking on with fear at this huge alien bug that's shown up in the middle of the chamber.
Well, Sprouts got what he came for, so bye, everybody.
I don't think you can get out of here without moving through some threatened squares.
No, so Sprouts is gonna kind of potentially lay Briar back down and kind of keep his attention on the big boy here.
Yeah.
And gonna take a blast with the yield arc pistol.
Already.
Hopefully the trick will hit. That is that's trick doesn't hit, but a 25
against EAC. That is a hit.
All right, for a measly 4 points of damage.
4 electricity, and it does seem like that's going through as it gives a little shock to this thing. It doesn't seem to notice you, though, because there are several other larger creatures all around it right now, threatening it. One of them
not
is...
like a bee sting.
Yeah. One of them is Echo 7, who is up now.
All right, so Echo 7 is going to take a guarded step just slightly north and hope that I'm still out of range of this gigantic thing, and take a shot with my azimuth artillery laser.
Go right ahead.
It's a 21 versus EAC.
That is a hit.
For 10 points of damage.
This is your artillery laser, so that is fire damage, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so...
Is it bloodied?
That great question, Miles. No.
You might be confused because it looks very red to start with, but
we're not there yet. Yeah, it does drill a hole in this thing's shoulder where you see what looks like other little kind of bugs living inside of it, inside these sacks, and it pours out a kind of a reddish white goo as its blood, and it's gross.
Cool.
sure sounds gross.
I don't like. I'm gonna stop describing it right now because I'm kind of grossing myself out. I mean, it looks like a giant tick, kind of. Not a big fan of this at all, but I am as well a big fan in another way because I get to use it. That is an Echo 7.
Was anybody else worried that as he went and described the blood so much that we were all going to start having to make saves?
Let me just check special abilities here. Okay. No, that is going to be its turn. It seemed to be very confused on its way down, and it didn't have its bearings. It has all of its feet on the ground now, and it is going to take its turn next in the order. And first of all, this little flying creature that is above Devasho is going to move down towards you and try and kind of claw. It's like in your square. It is a tiny little vermin here.
I mean, just because it's cute doesn't mean I like it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, and I've only rolled an 11 on the dice. Your KAC right now is
17.
That is a hit, so it is going to just start clawing through your armor, trying to get at Chitin, and this is a d6 of damage. 7 points of slashing damage from its claw attack. Okay,
Cool story.
I've got got my friend here who does have a few people in range. I think I'm gonna throw out a couple attacks on the big bug's turn. And let's see. I'm gonna roll a couple of d6 to see who they're gonna go to. We've got a Sheeran with a sword on one side, Echo 7 towards the top, and Devasho. So.
I have a big bug sound that I can play.
Ooh. That is exactly what the sound that I made when it came in. Devasho, you are lucky here. I've rolled a 1 and a 2, which means one's going to go to Tress, one's going to go to Echo 7. So in that order, it's throwing out these giant claws at you. All right.
Yes.
I've rolled very low on the dice. That might be good for you guys. Let's see. A 3 and an 8 on the dice with a -4 to both of these. So the first one is going towards Trest, and your KAC is 17?
Yes, that's right.
Oh boy, this thing just misses you.
Jeez Louise.
With a 3 there, and instead stabs right through Echo 7's armor, and you can hear his breastplate being punctured by like a huge needle-like claw. Because that 8 on the dice is going to hit Drew.
Oof.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to roll multiple attacks with this thing when I can. 2d6 of damage, and roll okay. 18 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
From this thing. Yeah. But that is its turn, and it brings us to Devasho.
Pulling up the bottom as always.
You're the anchor on the team.
Well, yeah, the anchor has to be reliable. So let's see if Devasho can, hold up. He's gonna take a little bit of a step to his left. He's trying to position the very large creature, whose name I will not say, in between Tristan and himself. And we're just going to take a single attack for now.
I mean, I can tell you guys what it is. You can still try and roll on your turns if you'd like. It is very difficult, as this is a high CR creature. This is called an Apari. Apari. It is a large gross alien bug. About, I would say 13 feet tall, kind of like at its hump.
Wow. The Devasho's just staring at its hump. Just ignore me.
Oh, no.
Just ignore.
3 on the dice.
3 on the
Anchors drag things down, Tyler. That's what you've done with this turn.
You are very right, man.
Okay. We are back to the top of the turn order with turn 2. Zinnia, we're on to you. What would you like to do?
I feel like a one-trick pony. In this case, the trick never seems to work. So.
Well, I hope your trick attack works.
I hope so too. All right, let's try that again.
You're going to try to identify again too?
I can't.
Oh, you can't.
CR 10 or lower?
Oh, that's a success.
Oh, good. So it's flat-footed until the end of its next turn, and then until the end of
your next
of the
turn,
round.
yeah.
My turn. And then a 25 on the attack against AC.
Boy, is that a hit. There we go. Yeah, 17 on the attack dice.
Not great damage. 5 damage.
Ooh, yeah, we'd like to see those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers, Rebecca.
Yeah, I know. At least it's a hit.
Yeah.
At least it's flat-footed.
Yeah, I was about to say you're probably helping a great deal more out with that flat-footed condition. Trest, we're back to you.
All right, let's see. So I'm flanking right now, and I've got this thing flat-footed.
Oh yeah, you've got Devasho on the other side of it, parrying it with a shield.
All right, I'm gonna hold off on using a spell for this, but I'm just gonna make just one attack.
Okay.
Oh yeah, wants to ensure that damage.
Well, nothing sure about this.
No, but a +4 essentially. So
it's helpful. Yeah,
I feel confident. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, 26.
Yeah, that is a hit. 16 on the dice. That's what we need.
That's more like it. 10 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, yeah. So you cut into this thing once again. It's like a vanilla frosting.
I don't need to know
with
this.
a strawberry swirl. but also the consistency of motor oil, and it just splashes out at you as you slice into it.
Oh, good.
Gosh.
Yeah, you've got your environmental protections up, which is nice because I don't think it smells well. That is a hit, and that is a good deal of damage. Sprouts Marlowe, we're back to you.
All right, so Sprouts is going to once again try for another trick attack. Ugh. So CR1 or lower is not going to do it.
Nope.
And neither will an 18 on the dice, I imagine.
18 against EAC.
Mm-hmm.
That is a miss. Unless it's flat-footed. Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah,
which it is.
So cute.
So that's 7 points of damage.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
we
Already
needed that.
putting a big hurting on it this turn. Before we get to Echo 7. Echo 7, though, we are on to you.
All right. Oh, I really want to make 2 shots, but I think I'm going to be able to play it safe as well. We're going to take 1 shot with the Azimuth Artillery Laser.
Okay, this one is going to provoke, though. Bum, bum, bum. Which means it is going to try and stab out again.
However, it is flat-footed, so it doesn't get to make reactions.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's flat-footed to
I was gonna say.
everybody. I was about to say, in the first turn, it was staggered until its turn. Oh, it's not going to get those reactions ever.
Oh, thank goodness.
I want more actions. All right, go ahead, Drew. I was incorrect.
Oh, that's only a 15 versus EAC.
It's not
That is indeed a miss. Thank goodness. Thank granny goodness. Okay, we are back to its turn. Let's see. Tyler, you can make an attack of opportunity as the little mosquito fly thing is going to enter your square, and it is tiny. And it's going to try and harry you again.
I don't want to let that happen, so this is going to be a good roll. Now, does a 22 hit that tiny bugger?
Oh my goodness, yes.
21 points of damage.
Oh my goodness, that's way too much damage. 21 you say? You got a little
Yes,
bonus
because
going on?
the Merciful Fusion, I turned off the Merciful Fusion and put on the Opportunistic Fusion.
Oh,
because-
it gives a bonus to damage with attacks of opportunity?
Yes.
Can't tell you how important that was, because 19 not enough to kill this thing, but 21 is, and it falls to the ground dead. Oh, yuck, I don't like that at all. Okay, then it's going to make its attack, and you have attacked a part of it, which it kind of feels. You can tell Tress from the backside, it is psychically kind of screaming out. I think I'm making a couple of attacks against the Devasho this turn, right? Yeah, let's make... We got 2 large creatures, 2 big bugs in a gladiatorial deathmatch.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's grapple, yo.
Let's grow. I've got a 9 on the dice and a 15 on the dice. I think that's 2 hits, baby.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it is.
that's 2 hits. Let's roll 46 for 2 hits as it both of these front claws on it just puncture into you. Oh boy. All right, that's kind of low. Oh no. Let's see. That is a total over 2 hits for 33 points of damage. Give me that bug screech again.
Oh yeah. I should have had that. Here we go.
Oh yeah, and it is just like furiously, kind of like a StarCraft Hydralisk, just like puncturing, just chung, into your armor and your chitinous flesh. That is its full turn though, and it's going to bring us back to you, Devasho. Time to answer in kind. 2 attacks.
Hold on. I'm still subtracting
Oh no.
damage. Okay. I'm there. Yeah. Flat-footed,
Mm-hmm.
flanking.
Flanking. You got it.
I'm gonna punch this. I'm gonna return with a double hit. So essentially, these are just straight, so I'm not gonna add anything to them. They will just be as they are. First attack is gonna be not enough with a 15 altogether, but maybe the second attack is better. Boy, I'm just fishing at this point, really.
Oh.
No! I fished for the wrong number! I didn't read the fine print!
1. Oh, goodness gracious, Tyler! I'm going to lose another eye right now!
You're fishing with the devil.
The devil's fish.
If I lose another eye, I'm quitting.
Tyler, are we doing the official critical
Steal
fumble
my
deck?
line.
I'm going to do a Miles special. Yeah, we'll do the official. That's where I lost my first eye. Might as well lose my second eye with the same.
I'm not gonna lie. It's a 1 in 52 chance right now that same just a flesh wound comes up, and you guys can. We're on video chat. You can see me shuffle. You can see me shuffle. Okay, here we go. Top card. A kinetic attack. Oh no. This is called It Got a Piece of You. Apply your weapon's critical hit effect, if any, to yourself. So I believe you've got that Apocalypse crystal.
No, it's different now. It's different.
No. What all critical actions do you have on your shield right now?
I don't. It's going to be based on the crystal. I don't. If essentially it's nothing. If the crystal isn't anything, then
I'm sorry. What crystal do you have?
it's the electron crystal, electron shard. I want to say it does not have a critical.
Oh, well, that's nice. You got that
So-
going for you.
Yeah, so I don't think because it's the soulfire fusion, electron crystal, and the opportunistic fusion.
No bonuses for that, and there's no bonus critical effect for your shield, your base shield either. So
Correct. Yeah, it doesn't get anything.
okay, well you've lucked out on that one.
I think I'm safe. Woo!
Ooh, but 3 misses in a row. Yikes!
Yeah, I mean that part's
Still sucky. That is the end of turn 2, Zinnia. We are back to you. A pretty huge turn for Team Midnight Squad in being able to flat-foot this thing and get some extra hits in there.
For sure. Any way I can support my team, because she certainly can't do much damage. Okay, going to try shooting it again. Okay, CR 4 or lower on the trick attack.
Ooh, that's
I assume
fail.
it's dim or dark in here, right?
Yeah, I would say dim at this point. The lights have kind of like come back up a little bit after this thing kind of broke out of its chrysalis.
Okay, but still not enough. And a 16 on the attack against EAC.
Oh no, that's a miss too.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's still flat-footed for you, right? Until the end of your turn? Is that correct?
No, it's just like at the beginning of your turn.
Against the
it
beginning of my
stops,
turn. Because it's flat-footed for me during my turn.
Oh
when
well,
I
either
initially
way, it
flat-footed.
doesn't matter. Those will both be misses. I'm just rubbing salt in the wound, apparently. Okay, that brings us back to Trest.
Alrighty.
You're flat-footed, very dangerous beast that is currently tearing Devasho apart.
All right. Let's see here. It's not flat-footed right now, so I don't want to cast anything. So I'm just going to
Hack and slash.
hack and slash.
Hack
Yeah.
and slash. Still being flanked right now.
Chip and chop. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and use a move action to magic up my blade.
Oh, okay.
So get me a little bonus.
Level 1 spell.
Yep, level 1. It's just one round. Oh,
Hey.
25. Wait, sorry, no, 24. No, sorry, 22 versus KSA. Sorry.
Oh, final answer.
Final answer.
Yes, and you needed to indeed ensorcel that blade. That is a hit.
Oh boy. Yeah, so that's 12 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. And I think I might have a new friendly target.
Oh no!
Who's doing damage to it right now behind this thing. Sprouts Marlowe, onto you.
All right, Sprouts is going to take another shot at this guy.
Alrighty. Briar's looking on. She can see you. See your
All right,
attacks.
so it's a CR9.
Oh, yeah. That's a successful crit.
So it's not flat-footed right now, right?
It is not, but
Well, it is
it
now.
can be. Oh, no.
And it's 24 to hit
That is a hit.
for a total of 7 damage.
Ooh, another big one from the detective. Okay. All right, so we are back to flat-footed right before Echo 7's about to shoot this thing in its face. Fairly useful, I guess. Drew, what do you got?
So Echo is actually going to move back towards the entrance to the cave on the eastern portion of the map.
Sure. And just get out of its
Just get out
potential
of its potential range. I'm
range. So about
assuming-
15 feet away.
Yes, and I'm going to take a shot with the azimuth artillery laser.
These are
And that is a natural 3 on the dice.
I said it's right next to a 19, a 16, and a 17. Any of those would have done well, but that is a miss. Oh no. It's back to its turn, and it indeed is going to just wheel right around and look at our good friend Trest.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh no. Here we go. Flip horizontal on roll 20. It's looking right at you now. Oh, does it want to make 2 attacks against a Trest? It's pretty low. I should say at this point it is bloodied. You have extracted some of these destroyed sacks from its main body here, and it does not like it at all. So I don't think it can or would perhaps spit out more babies. I think it's just going to go. I think it's going to go all in 2 attacks. Here we go. Ooh. A 2 on the dice and an 18 on the dice. Obviously, 1 miss and 1 hit.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do some damage here. It's stabbing into you. That is 19 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
So once again, it finds a new target here. Devasho, we're on to you. It's pronked you up, but it seems to have turned its back towards you now. You're still flanking.
And it's a special turn, Patrick, because after calculations, I am into hit point damage.
Oh, yes. I think you've taken some here, and you've also had an ally nearby take some damage, too. It's
I know, but I don't think
Trox's blood is boiling.
Yeah, the Trox blood is indeed boiling fiercely, so we are going to use all of our abilities here. Essentially, we're going to roll 4 attacks. Take the best 2.
Yeah, so your shield is just thrumming with power as it feels your Trox blood kind of like flowing out of you, and it's like, use the power, Devasho. Use it.
Well, hopefully, I think he grimaces and he doesn't want to, but I mean he is.
Oh no, it's go time to use.
maybe seconds away from death, so he doesn't have much time to think on it.
If this thing can take down the frontline fighters and then move on to the hoi polloi and the rest of the party.
Yeah. So our first roll, not good. Good thing we're rolling. Good thing we're rolling more. Let's try again. That's better, 21. And now for the second attack, first roll is gonna be a 21 as well, but we'll fish for the crit just in case. Can we get it? Nope, but I will take a pair of 21s.
A couple of 21s. Now, does that include your -4 to the attack here?
It does.
And your flanking action and its flat-footedness.
Yep.
The 21s are both hits.
Nice!
Oh boy,
And
that's a lot of damage.
18 on each of them means a total of 36 damage.
36? Gosh. Can't even do this math. Oh my gosh, this might be one of the first times of season 3 I'm busting out a calculator to do some math for me. Yeah. It is extremely weak after that barrage, and once again just calls out as you are now coated in this thing's ichor. Zinnia, turn 4, back to you. It is on the ropes.
All right, Zinnia is going to fly up and aim down at this thing.
Ooh,
and use her sonic pistol again.
Aerial attack.
The CR 10 or lower on the trick?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and an attack of 25.
Oh yeah. What? Oh, it's not 17 on the dice. That is a hit.
For a total of 9 damage.
Oh man, a huge blast, and you see it rippling across this thing's body, but it's not dead yet. Oh no!
Oh no!
You're gonna have
It
to
is
do a little.
flat-footed though.
It is still flat-footed now for a little bit longer. Trest,
Come on!
can you finish the thing before it finishes you?
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to take a nap, you guys. I'm spending one more move action. Give myself one more spell on this thing. Just make sure I got my.
Its head is like dangerously close to you right now as it's clawing at you. But
Yeah.
can you whip that sword around?
Come on, Hylax.
My legs protect me. +4.
Yes!
19 on the dice, a super hit, if you will.
11
And-
points damage.
Super.
Yeah, that is enough to slice this thing's head down the middle, bifurcating it and killing it outright. We are out of combat.
Whew.
Oh boy.
Zinnia is going to swoop down and surreptitiously
Start scooping it up.
Try to get one of those little bug creatures that's inside of it.
Scooping it into your pocket, and you're like, I'm being so sneaky right now.
This thing is huge.
No, I'm using stealth while I do it.
You gotta shop back it up.
If you think I'm not actively looking at
And
all this happening right now,
Yeah, I think every
very
single
much.
member of your team is looking at this right now.
Right? Yeah, That's it. I realize that you have a high stealth check, but like, you can't be scooping bug guts into your pockets and have me not notice it.
That's fine.
We are out of combat. You guys can attend to Briar. You can look around this chamber. You can scoop up your bug guts if you want. Indeed, this was an Apari and a CR7 creature.
So that thing is not swarm related at all?
It is not. This is not a member of Swarm. It's just there's other big bugs out there, believe it or not. Do you want this to be incorporated into the Swarm? See a Swarm version of it?
No, I mean, it's just weird to encounter a bug in this AP that's not Swarm. That's a bad guy. Forgive me.
Two in the party.
Forgive me. That's a bad
Well,
guy.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by the fact that it was in what seems like a chrysalis. Was this a natural thing, or was it put here for some reason?
Great question. Give me a mysticism check.
I refuse.
It's a 13.
18 question mark?
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Zinnia might have it, but I think, Devasha, if you got to look at this thing, you were right next to it as it kind of descended. It did seem to be some kind of like magical encapsulation, like a magical field around it that has kind of dissipated. So your thought is maybe it was trapped here on purpose, but for what purpose? You're not sure. As you guys are looking around the chamber here, after a minute or so, as you're resting, the hologram shows up. This Sheeran female hologram just right next to you, Trest, almost being projected onto this Apari's corpse. And once again, and Sheeran will say, "Welcome, pilgrims." And at this time, you can tell it's kind of like on a loop. So you can look around and find the same style holographic projector computer in what looks like a shrine on the western side of this cavern, and pop it out. There's a computer associated with this one, which if you guys want to take some time and interface to hack into it, you can.
I'll do that.
If you want to just take 20 on it real quick, I can tell you no negatives for this. So in maybe quarter of a minute or so, you've looked into this hologram's programming, and you can tell that this the Sheeran seemed to be waiting for a password, a phrase of some kind, and that phrase is embedded in the code here in Sheeran, and it's 3 words: the Forever Reliquary. It seemed like not saying that phrase to what looks like a kind of like a guide hologram unleashed this chamber's guardian, which was apparently this Apari, some kind of defense mechanism of some sort.
It was a good defense mechanism. We should be sure to say that word wherever, any chamber we go into from here on out.
Next time we listen to the hologram first.
Well,
no,
nothing.
I had to hack into the computer to find that.
Yeah, it seemed like this was maybe a secret phrase, as this was only a place for those in the know, maybe the Sheeran that would come here. Looking at the computer code, once again, there is also, it seems to be a second half of the hologram that would have played if you had said the code, and you can activate that now here in the center of the room as these glowing orbs of golden light kind of show up again. And taking a look at them, it looks like some kind of arrangement of heavenly bodies. You know, if they're stars or star systems, you're not really sure. But for a moment, it just shows them kind of speeding along in the same direction, and then they kind of form into what looks like the image of a rock, just kind of floating in the middle of the room. And this floating hologram kind of like swirls around the top of this chamber, and then you see it glow with the green symbol of Hylax that kind of burns into the face of this rock. And that green glow turns into a kind of a nimbus around it, and it looks like it's just kind of like giving off steam energy before what looks like a halo forms into a long tail, and it begins to move along. No one has physical science, so actually, if you guys want to roll untrained on this, you can. It will require a couple of successes, though, if you guys want to try that.
Sure.
Try and figure out what this is.
I imagine we're all just whipping out the almanacs and.
Oh yeah. Well, we've got a couple of successes from our operatives, so I'm going to count that. It's a DC 12, so it's fairly simple.
It looks like this is the ancient land of Rand McNally.
It's you're not sure what kind of star map was being projected here, but you're sure that this rock, this formation, is not an asteroid, but is some kind of comet. Which one you're not sure. Taking a look, Trest, at this shrine over here on the western side of the chamber, as you pass down, you're heading what looks like into another chamber towards the south. Make me a mysticism check. Anyone can make this, but Tress, you're gonna get a little bonus.
Oh boy. 17 is my check.
Mm-hmm. Got some other good rolls here. A couple of good rolls. I think I'm going to combine them here because with your bonus, that will just be enough, because you can feel there's some kind of magical aura radiating from this shrine, which does look to be set up with Hylaxian kind of imagery and the carved kind of cartouches of the Sheeran that escaped the swarm. And you can tell that it is emitting a telepathic pulse of some sort, and as you move near it, you just feel kind of calm and safe, kind of like your little spoon right now, very comfortable. And it's very low energy, kind of like pulsing out here. But as soon as you get by it, that is what you feel. And you kind of figure this might be what drew maybe the Reckoners here in the first place. There was a Sheeran in their party that might have been able to feel this even from above ground. So,
how curious.
So if you want to continue on down, the only other feature here is the northern passageway is closed off.
Sprouts is definitely going to want to kind of check on his partner.
Yeah, she's like in and out of consciousness here, but she is just like beaming as she sees you and kind of like tending to her wounds herself now. Without her Elfan, she is, mostly disabled. You see maybe like her twig-like legs are broken here as well.
Sprouts is probably going to call Echo over to see if he could kind of put her on top of him or something. Because Sprouts has been looking for, and this is the whole reason why he's even not on Absalom Station. So he's not going to want to let Briar out of his sight.
Yeah, you'll have to dig her out a little bit. Like bits of her Elfan are kind of like stuck in the rocks here, and you can disconnect them and things like that. But as you're moving rocks away, there is like a little bit of shaking in the rocks above. It definitely looks like an unstable formation here that you think if you continued to excavate without tools and things like that, it could be dangerous potentially. Okay. But yeah,
Can we repair her Elfan?
It's going to need a full replacement. It looks like it has been just completely crushed under these rocks.
I was going to ask if there was anything we could do with the organic printing vat to help her.
That's a kind of a specialized tool. So there, you'll have to have like a Raxolite who's capable in forming them. You could do like a prosthetic one, which would last, until she was able to get back to a medical facility. But these things, they would have to be like specifically fitted to her. But if you guys want to, some of you can start glumping up the stairs back towards the laundromat, and until you get signal and flag down the SDF to meet you there. If anybody's interested, as we are nearing the end of these caves, and you head into these final chambers here to the south. And Trest, as you're drawn in here, you see a very modest looking living quarters kind of carved out of the rock. There's a small bed, some shelves, and a large trunk. And the shelves hold what looks like several holographic picture frames, as well as an antique sextant and compass, and several fist-sized kind of glass globes.
Anything magical about them? Like with a detect magic?
These here on the shelves, no, but there are some things maybe in this chest that ping off your magical senses. And it's a little bit beyond that. It's like the first time you saw this hologram of Minesh, like I said, something psychically resonated with you as well. This chest is very shiny. It's a metal alloy, and there are etched images of stars and insectoid heads in it. And there's some bioluminescent moss here, so you have a pretty good lighting. But you looking over this room and these holographic images here, you get this strange pang in your thorax, as if you've maybe felt this before, you've experienced this before. And as you kind of run your mind psychically over the images here, a psychic memory kind of plays out for you. One that you feel the love in this place, then there's feelings of loneliness, and ultimately a calm and a peace of mind that settles over you. But it pushes you to want to inspect these holographic frames, these pictures, a little closer.
Yeah, I follow that instinct, and I walk over to the desk and the shelves, and I pick them up and start to investigate.
They show all kinds of Sheeran, what seems like cousins, brothers, sisters, spouses, family pods with their children. And as you pick each one up in the hologram, it pops up beneath their picture, their names. And checking them, you see two parents named Zelish and Zoyatul. There's a mother and a host named Kazil and Lizazal, as well as a lone father and son duo. The father, Zelazolan. The son is named Trest. And while you can tell all these people, these Sheeran, were probably long dead before you came around, this is definitely not you. All these names are family names in your line, in your family on Susquehanna, as there was perhaps a tradition in your family of keeping names over every other generation, naming for grandparents and things like that. So you're pretty sure, just looking at this, that Minesh was either a great grandmother or an aunt in your family.
I carry these back out to the group, and I sort of flip them around and say, I think we know why I have a psychic connection to this place. And sort of toss them down for people to inspect. Nothing magical here, simply familial relations. Nothing more.
They are indeed hundreds of years old. So these are like your ancestors.
Yeah, I mean, I say I toss them down. I set them down on the mantle over by the altar here, for people to come and inspect if they like.
These they're not snow globes so much, but these golden globes, glass globes on the shelf, you can kind of shake up, and they form these colorful swirls of different kinds of sand and soil, and you all can recognize those pretty easily as souvenirs from planets of some sort. They just don't seem labeled.
But it's like maybe they went to a planet and they took like a sample of soil and like
people
liquid
do that with like
and
beaches
and
things like that. But yeah, this is formed into a snow globe of sand.
Cool.
The metal trunk isn't locked, but you don't see a lid or handle to open it. Anybody that wants to take a look in here, make an engineering or perception check. There seems to be something having to do with these carved images on the outside of it. This is like a puzzle box almost. Ooh.
The 22 from Xenion Engineering.
That actually will do it, as you're pretty sure that pressing some of these images on perhaps the opposite ends of the trunk, maybe at the same time, would work as a latch to open this up.
Yeah, when you come in, Trest is just sitting there shouting, The Forever Reliquary. The Forever Reliquary. It's
There's
not
no
working. It's broken, guys.
audio receptors. But if you want to just make me a general intelligence check, once again, anybody can do this that wants to spend time in here. That is all that's going to be needed to open it. Oh no, Zinnia, a 2 on the dice. It looks like Drew. Did you roll highest here?
Yes.
A natural 16 on the dice for a 16. I think you just like have a knack, perhaps, for puzzles of some sort, because you're able to just like, or maybe it's an accident. You pick it up and you accidentally touch the 2 kind of corresponding bug faces on either side, and it opens up. Its contents spill onto the ground, and there's a number of personal effects in here. There's what looks like devotional icons of the goddess Hylax, ceremonial robes in a few different colors, a very antique and kind of crudded over data pad that you think if you were able to like put another battery source in it, it would probably still power up. And yeah, it looks like, do you guys want to do that right now or save that for some other time?
If it's not too complicated, I mean, I imagine we could probably
Just
do
plug
it
it
while
in the
we're
battery.
Yeah, we could just do it while we're sort of gathering things up and making final notes for our report and get ready to walk out.
Yeah, this is all can be done while Devasha, if you need to take a 10-minute rest, I understand that might be useful.
I wonder why I might need that.
It's a fairly easy computer check, so once again, I'm going to hand wave that as you find inside a lot of personal logs of Minesh, photos, videos, things like that. Logs about cleaning and kind of preparing these caves. Seemed like they were a guide or a caretaker of some sort. And there's a very detailed 3D map of the passages. Maybe a little outdated because some have kind of caved in, but very useful if this FCF does want to set these up as like emergency bunkers. But in addition to that, there are hundreds of diary entries. And as you kind of click on them, the most recent, the last audio log pops up and automatically plays, and you get to hear the voice of Minesh dictating to her data pad as she says, 3rd of the 5th season here. I checked once more on the plants, and they are doing well with the new lighting. Hylax be praised. Though it may sound I am in a good mood, as I may not be in as good a mood as I portray. This morning, the isolation got the better of me, and I started counting the days until my cycle here as guide to the pilgrimage ends. It's 174 more days, and then I can start to plan where I will head next. For all the others talk, I hope to see the Forever Reliquary myself. The beauty of Hylax there is so palpable that it is said to bring our kind to tears. I wonder if I will cry just stepping off the starship. Well, that is still many seasons away, and I have structural integrity tests to get to. This is Minesh, signing off. As you play this, you notice one more item at the bottom of this box here, Trest. It is a small box, and opening it up, you see the same kind of like psychic energy roll over you as you find what looks like some kind of baton or a wand of some sort, infused with magical energy. You can tell this is Minesh's Staff of Mystic Healing.
Ooh, that is fancy.
Remember when you guys found one in season 1 and you were like, what are we going to do with this?
There was just no mystic, and so we were like, man, whatever.
Sell this thing.
Yeah.
This is like it is like a cultural icon item now. So important for you. Anyway, that is what you find here. We are going to enter into a slow motion montage mode here as we see you walking out of the small automatic dry cleaners. Echo 7 holding the tiny mangled body of Briar, and Sprouts Marlowe right next to her, holding a hand, kind of drinking water, pouring on her pedals. And we see the SDF, the EMTs meeting you out front on the street, and they take Briar and kind of usher her off to a medical transport vehicle and bring her back to a field tent at the headquarters, where the rest of you guys can go back and give a quick debrief to Commander Najiri. as she listens to you and kind of looks over the data that you found from this site. She hears your mission report, but kind of cuts it short and says, Midnight Squad, this is above and beyond the call of duty. Consider yourselves pending for a citation of bravery. And I have received word that you're bringing down the Sister Spark character is an even bigger deal with the Tip Top than I could have thought. My higher-ups have told me to place you all on immediate hard-earned R&R for an extended personal leave. Devasho, I'm told you have some visitors downstairs. Midnight Squad, you are dismissed.
Aye, Commander.
I'm sorry, Commander, but it wouldn't happen to be my family, would it?
Never tell.
I mean, just because, do you maybe have, like, an eyeball in your office, or...
No, I definitely don't. you probably should have taken care of that last night with the medical staff. She'll dismiss you, and if you want to see if you can get that taken care of first, go downstairs to Jankster and print something up. You can, but she will.
I draw like an eye onto a piece of paper and just sort of tape it to his face.
She will call you back in, Trest, for a moment as the rest kind of move on, but we are going to move through each of you and see what you do here at the start of hard-earned vacation. After, I mean, this is like the first time you'll get to rest after escaping Susquehaln, traveling to Wiltranius, getting to work here. So Devasho, indeed, if you want to spend some time cleaning up and perhaps getting a prosthetic at the very least.
He wouldn't. He'd be too excited. Like,
Okay.
He's scared. Like, because he's like, he knows he's going to get it. He's probably going to get laid into a little. But that, you know, he hasn't seen his family for such a long time.
Months,
the
right?
idea. Yeah, the idea of like having to, you know, get maybe scolded a little bit for losing an eye is trifle compared to maybe being able to see his family. So he would still, you know, run down eagerly and scared.
Yeah. You can head to the civilian side of the building. There's like a civilian entrance where there's a large courtyard, and you see indeed your massive brood of a family waiting to greet you here. As you do, there, you know, some of your kids look like they've been waiting a while, maybe playing a video game or playing some games in the courtyard, looking anxious at all the soldiers around. But as soon as they see you, faces light up. They come to surround you. What is your flat-footed KAC +8?
Oh no! I guess that would be flat-footed would take that down to well, not even that, like a 15 + 8, 23
+ 8. And how many kids do you have again? You foolish fool! You fell right into the trap.
No! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Okay, it's I've got to roll a 1 here, given a bonus to.
Oh, come on! I can wrestle them all.
Combat
I can
maneuver.
wrestle them all.
Oh, a 3
so
on the
close.
dice.
So close. He gets a few of them.
It's a +2 morale bonus for each kid as they grapple your arms and legs, kind of pull you to the ground, and and are very, very happy to see you. They're like, look at all the scars! Daddy Dab's been murderized in the swarm! And one of them does notice. It's like, where'd your eye go? Dad! Mother, Dad, there's no eye here!
He puts a claw up to his mouth. He's like, shh, kids, shut up. You're going to get me in trouble.
He might not notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like, that would be a natural 1 on the perception check. Oh my goodness. Your partner's name is Sodun. Is that correct?
Saudoon, yeah.
They indeed look over you. You get an embrace, a kiss from your husband. Their mouth is chittering with excitement, but you can tell this is covering up a very concerned, not angry, but almost a fearful look as they're taking in your entire visage. Once again, at the start of the swarm war on Susquehaln, you probably weighed a good couple hundred more pounds, and your pallor as of late has been fairly grim looking.
Yeah, more purple. I'm pretty purple.
Not to mention now you have sea worm acid burns on your armor and like these giant Apari size holes and cuts on you.
Yeah, I mean his armor is almost just like scrappable. It's been so torn up over our delve into the caverns.
Devasho, we have rented out a local business here for a feast for the family, but if you would like to invite the rest of your squad, they are more than welcome to tag along. Perhaps they can explain what has happened to you.
That is a wonderful idea, and I am sure that they could explain in much better words. Some of them quite good with words, especially the tiny one.
You might need a buffer.
Is a very good storyteller, but I will call for them and see if they wish to join.
And then he would kind of, look at some of his kids and say, like,
who thinks they can out-eat Dad at the all-you-can-eat dinner extravaganza?
There's a few hands raised as we leave this scene. Indeed, the rest of you can come and try and generate some whoppers of stories of how Devasho lost his eyeball. That did not include him taking it out himself. But we are going to move on to Sprouts. Miles, we see you in the medical tent behind kind of like a plastic barrier. This is like outside of the building, but in a pressurized section of tent where there are a team of a couple of Raxlite doctors operating on Briar. You see replacing her destroyed Elfan with a sleeker new model, while an SDF, a human medic, is kind of like bandaging up her wounds with a biodegradable green bandage. They leave after maybe an hour or so here and invite you to go in and talk to her, as she is maybe hooked up to an IV. As soon as you enter, Briar says, "Oh, Sprouts, I knew you wouldn't let me down. You found me even after I dragged you across this universe and into this god's forsaken jam here in the Susqueland system."
Yeah, you got me all sorts out of sorts.
Well, I wasn't able to let this case go. There's something about it. It became much more than a missing persons case. You see, when I started in on the trail on Susqueland, the war had broken out, and I was worried about that girl, and I started to get these visions. These psychic visions of the swarm, and they were just terrible. I can't even describe them. They were so horrific.
What's the connection with this Sister Spark? What happened?
Well, I was looking for someone named Andia, and I did get in touch with others that had met her along the way, as well as Sheeran and Lashunta. All had these same terrible psychic terrors, but it was a bigger mystery, do you understand? And I found out this Andia started calling herself Sister Spark, had been thrown in prison. I kept missing her again and again. I was one step behind when things turned worse a few weeks ago, and that's when they took the whole planet. I just wanted to see it through, so I tracked her here and found out about these reckoners and this holy site on Ultranius that they found, and I was having some of the same psychic visions when I got close to their people, when I got close to Sister Spark herself. So I went snooping for more information at their base, and that's when they captured me. I managed to escape, get out of there, and find my way down to the laundromat, but I got sloppy, nearly got crushed by the rocks, and crawled through a cave-in to get myself to where I was, but I would have died if you hadn't gotten down there and found me.
This Sister Spark character, she said you took the dirt nap, that she did it herself. Any particular reason why she's got it out for you?
Well, as I said, I was trying to bring her back for those that were looking for her, but she said she was killed back on Susqueland and took a new form. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but it didn't seem like she wanted to be found. She had, you probably tangled with her if you were able to find me. I imagine she, you understand, she was mixed up with quite a crowd. I believe the swarm deserved to take over the system.
Yeah, we found her. We put her in bracelets, and now she's, here. But
that's good.
I still don't quite understand everything. Why you went this way to begin with? Why you tracked her down after she'd been imprisoned? Wasn't the case closed then? Weren't you just supposed to find her?
I was trying to get her back and get her out of a bad situation. As I said, things were turning south on Susqueland quick. I was hoping to snatch her off that planet before the swarm took over completely. When I found out she got to Ultranius, I wanted to come here and see if I can help her have a jam the same way. But I failed, but where I failed, it sounds like you succeeded.
Well, I didn't rush in alone like a rookie.
Time was of the essence, but it sounded like you had plenty of time to follow the clues I put down, so I thank you for that.
Yeah, your clues got me tied up with this war. Now, seeing as the swarm are a little bit big of a problem, I can't completely be too upset about it because, well, me and the Midnight Squad, we've been doing good things, and we've been, well, for lack of a better term, taking care of business. But
well, I saw firsthand how those SDF you're rolling with fought with one another in the cave, Sprouts. You were working as a well-oiled machine. Now that I'm safe, the doctor said that it might be some time before I can get back on my feet, get these Elfan calibrated, and might be a little while before I can get back to work, but I intend to. What are you gonna do, Sprouts?
The original intention was just to find you and get the pronk out of Suskelin, but, well, maybe against my better judgment. You know me, I've never really jived with military and hero types, but there's more going on here, and my other partners need me. I want to get back to Absalom as soon as possible, but I think I gotta see this through first.
I'd be a liar and somewhat selfish if I didn't tell you I wanted you to quit the SCF right now and never leave my side again, but that's not the kind of plant that I am.
Sounds good. Leave the podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Well, no, she's saying she cannot ask that. Those members of Midnight Squad, they need you as much as I did. My mother didn't raise a spoiled root child.
I'm well aware.
For my part, I want to stay here and help these people. Like me, they seem to have a connection to this world, this system, and I've met many that are in need of finding loved ones lost in the evacuation of Suskelin. It's something at least I can try and help out with on the infosphere while I recover.
Well, you always better with matters of the heart than I was, and may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but we'll get back to our shop in Absalom soon enough.
You finish out this term with the swarm, and you finish out this term with the SDF, and return here safe and sound. Do you hear me, Detective?
I do. But while you're here, while you're cooped up, and while you're helping out and kind of hitting the pavement in terms of keeping your ear to the ground, why don't you do a little favor for me?
What's that?
I trust my teammates. They've been there for me and vice versa, but all of them had a few strange goings on, and I feel like it would benefit not just me, but everyone else if you could do a little digging on all of them.
Are you saying spy, dig up the dirt on your team?
Not dirt per se, just what's going on. Some of them seem to be dealing with things that they're not sharing, and, well, when you're in a combat situation, that can get you killed. And I've noticed suspicious behavior here and there, and I just want to make sure that I know all the factors going.
Sounds like the Marlowe that I will work with. She points to her kind of bag of personal belongings that they stripped off her as they brought her in, and inside you find her service pistol. And she says, "You take this little beauty with you, and it'll keep you safe. You understand me?"
Marlowe looks for a spot because he's got the one tied to his back and the one in his Elfan.
So little. You're just got a million pistols. It is a hot little plasma pistol with flames drawn down one side of the butt and a lightning storm the other side. And
so handle. It's like the Guy Fieri of pistols.
It is a Red Star, a plasma pistol with the word Sheila kind of carved into the handle.
Ooh, I like that. And so in return, Sprouts tosses her old dust coat back to her.
Oh yeah, I'll need this when I get back on the streets.
Well, I better get back to my team, but I'm sure as hell glad you're safe.
You know where to find me.
Marlowe tips his hat and walks out.
As the rest of you take some time here and your first time off in a while to relax, maybe read up on goings on in the war, Zinnia, we find you perhaps maybe looking at the infosphere, some of the scientific breakthroughs of the swarm, maybe going back to your locker and your bunk here to offload the huge organic printer vat and things like that, your weapons. And as you do, you're still here in SDF HQ, Rebecca. You find a package inside your bunk that you did not see there before, and it immediately makes the feathers on your neck raise up at the same kind of time, as it is something you recognize as the same high-end design that you saw left on your dashboard of your vehicle back on Susclin. Do you remember that, like a book ago?
Yes. Does the tag say Z on it? Isn't that what it said before?
It has a very similar note written in Versite. This one says Vagantas Gorset Strixariaris, meaning, of course, Strix are always true. And it is signed simply the Watcher again, but there's a little bit more to the note, as on the back you kind of feel like turn it over and it says, impressive shots, try and keep up. And believe it or not, there is another cybernetic eye augmentation inside the box. This time a single optical replacement. Who needs one of those? Not anyone on this team.
Definitely not Zinnia.
It is a cyber eye weapons system, one called a Corona optical laser. Tyler, weren't you just talking about getting some free Corona weapons?
Yeah, I did mention Corona earlier in the episode.
Good times. This is a weaponized eye gun that you just replace your eye socket with, and it pops off a small arm laser, basically like once per combat, that can do 2d6 damage. And
wait, hold on. It pops off a...
You shoot a laser beam.
You shoot a laser out of your eye.
Oh,
you shoot
okay.
Freaking lasers out of your eye.
Sorry, I thought you were saying that you had to have a small arm to be able to use it. I understand now. Okay.
No, but I believe it is a small arm of danger. It has a 50-foot range, and like I said, 2d6 with a 1d6 critical burn. The way that these work is that you, I believe, can take a 10-minute rest to when you regain stamina points to like recharge it. So it kind of like works off of a different battery.
Like it has a tiny watch battery that you gotta like redo every single time.
So you can only use it once before a 10-minute rest.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep,
But it's
one shot.
a 2d6 laser eye.
Yeah, you can actually
awesome.
also, there's I can't remember if it's a piece of biotech, but it's called I think it's called like a focusing membrane, and it can be installed in tandem with these optical eyes, and what it does is it reduces a enemy's fire resistance by 5. So even it's just nice because it only does 2d6, but even if you do shoot something that has fire resistance, it can help nullify that fire resistance so the damage goes all the way through.
Tyler, have you been researching cybernetic eyes for some reason?
No, what? I just read.
You know more about
I
this
read
than me.
Starfinder books. I just read books. I got books.
Rebecca, who does Zinnia think is leaving these for you?
I've got to assume that it's someone... I would assume it's someone with the BBRC, or at least aware of my involvement with the BBRC.
Do you think this is a mystery? You've kept it from your teammates so far. Do you think this is a mystery for Sprouts Marlowe in the future?
Yeah, maybe she should hire Briar
to
look into this.
Briar.
That's our sideshow. Hire Briar.
Yeah, so that is something to look into. I am just going to assume that you are definitely going to install this awesome eye. Yes.
I don't know. I kind of want to give it to Devasho.
No, give him your old eye upgrade.
I could do that. Although, actually, the increase to perception that I get from that, well, it's only +1, but I just rarely take damage, so I never take 10-minute rest. But
That's pretty funny.
To recharge, yeah. Well, and it's kind of one of those things you'd use when you don't have an option. I mean, like your sonic pistol is better than this in every way.
Lasers are cool.
I mean, the only reason that I feel like it might be useful is if it's the beginning of combat and I don't have my gun out.
Oh, for sure.
I'd be armed, you know?
Oh my.
Yep.
Something to think about for next week, but we leave you pondering this mystery here as we see later that night, Echo 7, you're walking through the halls of HQ when you are spotted by an excited Isoki who kind of like runs past you and then wheels around and like circles back in front of you. It is Jankser, the base's quartermaster, and she is carrying a box of high-tech looking parts. She indeed does like a quick couple turns around you, looking you up and down, and says, "Oh, Echo 7, it's good to see you. How's that personal upgrade working out for you?"
Very good.
Awesome! That's good to hear. Listen, apparently we're getting a huge influx of materials from the Pact. Weapons and tech, things like that. Apparently, Tip Top is trying to make some deals with corporations and the stewards all over the place, trying to get maybe some full-on armada or assistance in this war, but all that's above my pay grade. Oh, what isn't is dealing with the tech that I'm able to lay my hands on. She kind of shakes the box in front of her. You got a minute for me to run something by you?
You can make me better, stronger, faster than before.
Well, that's the plan. She will lead you downstairs to her workspace, where you see what looks like a large item underneath a grease-stained cloth, kind of hanging from the ceiling. She says, "Well, I've been trying to outfit some of the more capable soldiers around the base for a while now. I saw what you all had pulled off of Suskelin and had some ideas for an upgrade. You remember that powered armor you found back before you left?"
I'm listening.
I think it's time we started looking at some trial runs in the field of some of that equipment. Are you interested in being my Akatonian test rat?
How many languages can I say yes in?
She whips off that cloth with kind of like a flourish, like she's trying to pull the tablecloth out from under her, a bunch of silverware on a table. And you see a glistening suit of powered armor. It is not the armor that you grabbed before jumping on the starship and leaving Suskelin. This is a battle harness that lies incomplete underneath the sheet. It looks suited very well to fit over your existing body, and it is hanging on what looks like huge engine hoists. But you immediately notice it is about half completed. There are no legs underneath it. Jankser says, "Problem is, I can't finish this thing without some help. I figured we could go 50-50, splitting the production costs. You've got half the UPBs to finish this bad boy up. It is yours. What do you say?"
I'll take it.
"Yeah, okay. Let's get to work." And she starts like hitting you with the wrench. That's how it works, right? I got a feeling this is going to be the start of a beautiful partnership. Old Tin Can and Janks, the Silver Sentinel and Rat Girl, Jankser and Echo.
Leave the references to me.
She'll start working on that as that scene fades out, and we see back as soon as you guys left the office in Commander Najiri's the previous day, Trest being held back to talk to the commander. Trest, you watch as kind of Devasho and the rest head off for shore leave, but Najiri was looking very happy a moment before Jabert, and now she's looking very troubled, kind of anxious. You didn't even see this in her movements back on Suskelin. She looks like she has some bad news.
Commander, what has happened?
Well, Sergeant, I wanted to let you know that I fought this tooth and nail, but I have to follow the chain of command. Let me say up front that this stinks to high heaven, but I think the cons are outweighed by the pros here. Hours ago, we got notification that a delegation of stewards and some other outside entities have entreated the SDF for a transfer of a prisoner, and they're on their way here now to pick up Sister Spark and bring her back to the Pact.
What?
Apparently this deal is going to facilitate a lot of goodwill amongst the Tip Top. There's talk of more than just financial and hardware support from the stewards if we're able to comply. We're trying to get the Pact to intervene and help us retake Suskelin, but we need to act fast before the planet is turned into a noxious wasteland. It's a big ask of the core planets, or even the Vesk, who have their own problems in near space. Anyway, like I said, orders are orders, and if they want Sister Spark, and that's going to help facilitate the military's intervention here, I don't know why they need her, but I can't even fathom how they got here so fast. Even if they got word yesterday of her capture, then they must have gotten out here. It takes weeks to get out to the Suskelin system from there. But
right.
Regardless, I didn't want to put a damper on the rest's shore leave, but this is going to take place in a few hours. I wanted you to make the prisoner transfer if able, and just leave the rest of the squad out of it.
I'll see her off.
You can wait here in HQ, rest up, maybe resupply, get some grub before a few military police will bring Sister Spark up and out of the brig. You see her wearing prisoner's clothing and a straight up like Hannibal Lecter muzzle and gag. But this does not stop her from greeting you psychically as she sees you down the hall. And she seems a little out of it, like distracted. There might be some kind of medication or mental blocker in her system, but psychically she says, "Oh, it's the Sheeran again, here to execute my punishment. Or will you all be punished when the swarm arrive?"
Looks like you've got some friends there, Sister Spark. Well, maybe friends. The stewards, you know them?
Oh no, but my real friends will be here before too long. Don't you worry.
Well, unfortunately for you, you'll be gone.
They will kind of like help you escort her outside where you can see up in the clouds above New Graka a starship making its way towards the makeshift landing pad here on the outside of HQ. Is slowly drawing down to the planet's surface. You can see its landing lights kind of pop up and bathe you in a warm light. Sister Spark, as she's waiting here, speaks into your mind and says, "Trest, if you even want to have a hope of standing up against the swarm, you have to let go." She's like staring at you, daggers behind her mask. "I can tell that a fire burns in your mind. There's a block there. You have a dam that is holding back a raging river. I felt it in the Reckoner's Hall, and I feel it here now. And all you need to do is pull out a single brick and whoosh, that dam is gone." What do you think she's talking about?
Oh, I'm sure she wants Trest to accept the swarm as sort of the liberators of, I don't know, destruction or something.
She's necessarily talking about the swarm. She's talking about something inside of you. Do you think she sees a little bit of herself in you as well? You're both kind of like touched by the god host back on Suskelin.
Well, I mean, I guess I'll take her words at face value and say, "All right, what do you suggest?"
The next time you face them in battle, you get carnal, primal. You let go of all your inhibitions, revert to the bug that you are. If you fight with the same ferocity as they do, you will have their power and more. The starship lands in front of you as she finishes this up. Looks fairly dilapidated. Tress, you expected maybe a beefy steward's exploration vessel or some kind of packed military design, but it looks old. It looks like 100 years old, maybe with a fresh coat of paint. A disembarkation kind of landing pad extends from the airlock, and a few figures emerge. There is Lashunton, a Vesk, and a Soki, a human, walking along the painted side of the vessel where a name magically glows in green and purple lettering reading The Drift Rider. As before you see a couple of heroes of the pack themselves, a Knack, an Alindra, an Adros, a Raimi, the heroes of the hour back in the core system, and the giant Vesk stands up in front of you, Trest, and puts out a clawed hand to shake yours and says, "To be continued."
I was getting ready.
Yeah.
I was all prepped.
Close enough. Oh yeah, things are happening here.
What's going on?
I'm just kidding. We can keep playing. We're not that far into it, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't leave you on a cliffhanger like that. He doesn't say that. Edros Veronis steps up to you, Trest, and says, "Welcome to level 5. That's the end of the episode."
Yes. Embrace level 5.
Psych. No, that's really the end. And that's the end of book 2 of Attack.
Whoa!
Oh, snap.
Whoa!
Can you tell by me wrapping up a whole bunch of things?
I had a whole comeback ready. I had a smart remark. I was going to say, what, the stewards are counting credits now? They had a junky looking ship.
They are here indeed for an India.
we'll find out more about the mysteries behind this season of Cosmic Crit next time as we officially start book 3 of the Adventure Path and find out a little bit about your characters at level 5. Imagine there's some changes happening. A little bit. We'll see. Some bonuses to stats and things like that.
The spring is here and sprouts blossoms anew.
Oh, yeah. That's going to do it for this episode. Oh, boy. You survived the Apari and my story twists and turns. Guys, thanks for playing with. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, thanks for listening to 2 books of this adventure path so far. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Cheers.
See you next week. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Cosmic Crit. This episode has been made possible through a sponsorship with Roll20 and the backing of our Critamanda fans on Patreon. Thanks again and have a great week.